now. Things are gonna get better.
Hello, good evening.
Oh my goodness, everyone! Hey, okay, so here's Iris. She is here, and we are going to be discussing. I know, right? We're going to be discussing the scoop on poop. What your eliminations are. What your elimination is telling you about your relationship with food. So, Iris, you want to go ahead and take it away? Oh, wait, first let me introduce her. Sorry. This is Iris. She is the CEO, founder of Very Well Living. Also, you guys, I know y'all don't know, but you have to go to her Facebook, Very Well Living business page. And this woman can cook. I'm telling you, she makes vegan, vegetarian, meat lover. I mean, she makes it all, but when I tell y'all it looks so good, oh my God. I'm always like, now how does she cook like that? And she told me before, it has to be pretty for me to eat it. And boy, when I tell you it looks pretty, it looks pretty. And I'm always like, I need to come to where she lives. I know where she lives, I'm not going to say it. So I need to come to where she
Thank
lives so
you.
I can eat some of that good looking food. So you guys, here is I'm about to say Sierra. Here is Miss Iris, and now she's upside down.
Sorry, I was trying to make this work. There we go. I think that works.
Yes.
Can
So
y'all
now
see me?
Iris is gonna come on, and I'm gonna kind of step away, and I'm gonna come right back. I need to grab some paper in case I have some
Hey,
questions
I
to
keep
ask
getting
Iris
a
also.
call. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
But I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Well, go ahead and take it away, Miss Iris.
Like Zibby said, my name is Iris Berry, Coach Iris Berry. I am a lifestyle and wellness coach. And one of my passions is nutrition and healthy digestion. So let's just get in this. The scoop on poop. What your uh, what your poop is, your elimination is telling you about your relationship with food. So first and foremost, one of the things I always get asked is how often should I go poop? And yes, I'm starting a little backwards because that is the question I get asked the most often. Well, the frequency of the times that you go poop generally have to do with the amount of fiber and hydration because basically pooping is the final step in your digestive process. What keeps your digestive process going is staying hydrating, eating plenty of fiber, and healthy quality fiber. So a lot of us get stuck using Metamucil, attempting to use teas and the such. And what happens is it dumbs down the digestive system. So that being said, you should go poop at least once a day, preferably in the morning after you've broken that break fast. You got a question for me, Z?
No, 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 no. I'm
Oh, you
writing.
just come back to okay. So at least once a day, preferably again at the top of your day. So what's going to increase those chances of you doing that? Is a healthy diet, but I'm gonna step back for a minute because then I want to talk about should my poop stink? Okay. It's shit. Let's just be honest. It's poop. It's waste. It's with the body, your poop, your elimination is a combination of the food that the body did not use. So it takes all that and absorbs it in the lower colon, and then it extracts the water out, and that is your waste. So should it be foul? You should be able to go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, and not close the door. That's how comfortable it should be. However, there are instances where it is foul. So why is it foul? Why does it smell like something crawled up you and died? It could be the amount. That's just what happens. It could be the amount of time the food has been in your digestive system and sitting there in your colon. It could be a combination of the foods that you eat. So high fatty foods, foods with a lot of sugar, those foods will make you funky. The other thing is your health status. So are you on medications that are going to make your shit stink? Forgive me, y'all know I'm a little crass, but that's what it is. Um, so odorous. It does not have to be that odorous. Um, then the other thing that could make your poop stink is what you eat. Everything that comes out is based on what you put in. Um, the size, the shape, the consistency. What should it look like? What color should it be? Brown is the standard color because, of course, that's what happens once it comes in contact with the bile. It changes the color. But again, your dietary intake will change that. So if you're actually a vegan or vegetarian that eats vegetables, green leafy vegetables, 9 times out of 10, your poop ranges anywhere from a dark brown to these wonderful colors of green. It just depends on what you put in. But brown is the standard color. The healthy brown, you know, is brown. When should you be alarmed by the color of your poop? When it appears to be high red, black, or pale. Those things could indicate, sometimes it's what you eat can make those colors. But if it's black, and generally it might be blood present. If it's pale, it could be a blockage and your pancreas could not be working well. So a number of things could be going on. Those are things that you cannot self-diagnose. If it's happened for more than a few days, 3 days to 7 days, make an appointment with your doctor. Don't try to self and go on Google and try to figure out what that is. Actually go get diagnosed because that is serious. The size and consistency. Okay. Most of us run the gamut of having diarrhea to being constipated. Really what you want to be is you want to be regular. That stool looks like a just right banana, not too hard, not too soft, but when you touch it, it sticks to your fingers. Make sense? Yes. The length. You want the length you want it to look like your colon. So anywhere from 6 to 12 inches, that's a good solid stool. That's a winner. Those make me get off the toilet like, So yes, I celebrate healthy eliminations. If you're getting pellets, if you're getting always diarrhea and loose booty, then it could be something as simple as you need to eat more bulk. You need more fiber in your diet. If you're adding more fiber, then you automatically have to drink more water. Hydration is so important. It's the thing that keeps the digestive system flowing. Water. What else about consistency? I gave you size. I gave you color. We did odor. Let me check my cue cards. Color, shape, smell, time. So let's talk about how to get healthy eliminations. Z, did I leave out anything so far though? That we talked about?
I thought about one thing, which is, should it be painful when you have to?
No, it should not be painful when you have to poop. And I see your question, Aretha. I'm going to come back to your question. It should not be painful. When you have an elimination, I'll get professional for a minute so y'all can take me serious. When you have an elimination, you should be able to sit down and within a few minutes, not more than 10 minutes after you sit down, you should be releasing. Now, for some that might take some practice, and we'll talk about how to get into the practice of having quality, healthy eliminations. But no, it should not hurt. You should not have to bear down. You should be able to sit on your toilet. And once you sit down, within 10 minutes, you should have a nice, easy release. Okay. As for the size and consistency, yes, it should be a certain size. It shouldn't be pellets. It shouldn't be rocks. It should come out similar to what your colon should look like. I use the example of a banana, a just right banana, because that's about what your colon's going to look like. And it should be in length, about 6 to 12 inches. Okay. Everyone is not going to be that hit, but that's the quality of it that you want to have. Okay. And yes, how do you get to have an elimination regularly? Let's talk about that. Well, one is hydration. I'm going to keep saying hydration. Water, 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 water. At a minimum, 8 glasses per day. 8 10-ounce glasses a day. Not 8 4-ounces, not 8 10 ounces, but 8 10-ounce glasses a day. If you are really shooting to be regular where you can get more than one elimination a day, then take your weight. So I am 140 right now. Half of that is what? 70, y'all work with me. It's something like that. I can't do math.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to drink a minimum of 70 ounces a day. And I do that. And your water intake also has to be dependent upon your health. So if you're on medications, if you tend to run low on the side for sodium, be careful about your water intake. But you do want to be hydrated in a minimum of 8 glasses a day, 10-ounce glasses a day, preferably at room temperature is the best thing. Yes, when you eat more veggies, that's fiber. That goes straight to the heart of the matter. A good source of fiber, good sources of fiber are your beans, your legumes, your whole grains. So brown rice, quinoa, amaranth, spelt, so barley, oats. It just depends on what you eat, but you want them in. If you're increasing fiber, you must increase your water exponentially because you will create constipation if you aren't already there. Yes, basically young children got it. They go poop when they gotta go poop. The beauty of young children is their system hasn't been tainted with all these rules. Pregnancy interrupts that, being a parent interrupts that, being at work interrupts that. And then there's a thing called poop shaming. You should poop regularly. 2 to 3 times a day, it should be a goal. But anyway, so let's see. I see a question down there. Lately, my system has been out of whack, meaning some mornings I can go and drink almost 100 ounces a day. So when it's out of whack, if it's consistently out of whack, one of the things that you want to do is you want to start keeping a diary of what you're eating. Sometimes we think we're good about healthy eating and getting the fiber that we need and the water that we need, and we're not. So go back to journaling, go back to saying how your food makes you feel, the time of day that you're eating, the amount of water that you're drinking, and get there. A diet and excessive fat is what causes it to float. So no, it should not float. What it should do is slide into the water like shh. I'm sorry, I need sound effects, y'all. It should just drop into the water, not plop. Not the pellets, because when you got the pellets, it does that. But it should slide into the water and then just gradually just float down to the bottom. Okay. So sometimes when it is floating, it means it's too much fat in your bowel. Okay, in your feces. I'm missing a question. I'm sorry, Z. You're gonna have to help me with these questions. I'm missing it. So
Okay, I will help you when I see some more. But I did want to say one thing, and that was I brought up the question about pain because before I changed my diet and really started exercising a lot, I used to literally sit on the toilet. It would take forever, and I would use the restroom, and I would literally have a tear, right, running down my face. So it was painful, but not, I think it was just my body's response in having to use the bathroom. That's why I asked the question about the pain, because I used to use the bathroom, and it used to be painful. And so when I changed my diet and I'm eating a lot more vegetables, a lot more fruit, like you said, a lot more green things. Now it's like that banana, right?
Excellent. It should be one of the poops you come out and you should look in and you should be like, score! And you should feel light. I know people don't believe this, but after you have your elimination, you should feel light.
Yes.
So stop up the toilet sometimes. Does that mean you're having a dump so large that you're backing up the toilet, or you're using too much toilet tissue? So here's the thing. You can gauge the quality of your elimination by the number of times you have to wipe. 1 or 2 wipes should be standard if it's the consistency of that banana and the right the right size. I can't remember what I was saying because I'm trying to read these questions. So too much poop usually is not the problem. It's usually too much toilet tissue. So that's why the kind of trick is to try to make yourself go within an hour of getting up. Because if you're past that practice, you can take a shower after you go to the bathroom. You don't have to get dressed per se. Okay. I wipe them, flush, then wipe, then flush. You're doing too much. Let it flow and be done. Just poop. and then wipe and be done. And then you also want to check out what type of septic, what kind of tank you got. Septic tanks don't receive toilet tissue that way. Um, so what did I miss? Okay, so let's talk about how to get a quality elimination. Let's get there first. We talked about hydration. We're talking about adding more fresh fruit, vegetables, grains, legumes. I need my cheat sheet. Yeah, I listed everything. Here's the thing. At every meal, if you're eating a balanced meal, a well-balanced meal, that's your fat, your carb, and your protein. Underneath your carbs, that's where most of your fiber is. So you want to go for your quality carbs, your complex carbs. That's your spinach, your kale, your green onions. That is your peas. That's your beans. All of those. You want to have that at every meal. Your serving of fruits and vegetables should be at least 5 to 7 servings a day. 5 servings of vegetables, 2 servings of fruit. Tend to gear towards the harder fruits for the more fiber. So apples, pears, grapes are wonderful. The skin on grapes is wonderful. Mangoes. You want to watch this because, again, whatever your health status is, that's what your diet should be based on. These are suggestions, and I don't want you to change anything without considering what your health is and without talking to your healthcare provider. So this is basic information. So increase the fiber, increase the water. The other thing, schedule your eliminations, period. Make time for your eliminations. So one of the things that we do is we hurry the bathroom process, unless, of course, we're grooming, getting ready to go out, then we got all the time in the world to be in the bathroom. Every morning, if you make it a practice to, when you open your eyes, stretch, gentle stretches, then your glass of water. Before you do anything else, you are drinking your water at room temperature. Take it straight to the head. At that point, if you want to get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, within those 20 to 30 minutes, and this is practice, this is getting the body to where you need it to be. You should be having an elimination within a half an hour to an hour from waking up. If apples cause bloating, try another fruit. The goal is to get a fibrous fruit and eat at least 2 fruits a day. Okay, they could be your snacks. Pair your fruits with your nut butters or maybe even cheese. No, not cheese. That's gonna make you constipate. Your nut butters, hummus. Okay, that would be a good one. That's if you're trying to get fibrous. So from there, exercise. Exercise is essential. Even if you're not doing HIIT, at least walk 30 minutes a day. Physical activity. Work in your garden. You want to be certain that you're getting the exercise that you need to keep the system moving. Let's see, what else is there? Time, exercise. And then whatever beliefs you had surrounding your relationship with food and how your eliminations are supposed to occur. Ladies, this is really for you. You don't like to poop in public. Stopping your flow is part of the problem. When you have to have a movement, when you get that sensation from your body, take your tail to the bathroom and use the bathroom. I get it. You don't want to go to a public restroom. Your skin is the most protective thing on your body. I can assure you, you're not picking up much from that toilet seat. There are protectors there. You can carry wipes in your pocket. Pick the stall, go. It shouldn't be more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most. And that's because you done lined the toilet and done all that thing. Do not squat while you're attempting to have an elimination. Sit on the stool. We can get this for another presentation. Trying to squat over the toilet to pee is the worst thing you could do for your pelvic floor, for your urethra. Because if you want to know where incontinence comes from, it comes from poor posture, not igniting the whole body. So apple cider vinegar working good. For some people, it does. If you don't have an adverse effect to apple cider vinegar, having that in some warm water in the morning, it's perfectly fine. However, the goal is to get your body to listen to itself. So from the time you have your first meal, you think about having your first meal and you begin to salivate, That begins a digestive process. Pooping is the end of the digestive process. Okay, your eliminations are the end. So the same way your body triggers you to tell you that you're hungry is the same way your body triggers you. Hey, it's at the end of the elimination process. I have absorbed and extracted all the nutrients out of this food. Now it's waste. I'm pushing it down. It needs to go out. So really no squatting. When I'm talking about squatting, if you're not squatting because you're pooping outside in the woods or you got a squatty potty, then no squatting. So that means that hovering over the toilet seat that women do because they don't want to touch the toilet seat, no, that is not a great practice. Now, if you're squatting because you got a squatty potty and your butt is on the toilet, that is perfectly okay. If you're squatting because you're out camping or you have to pull the cart over in the poop, that type of squatting is okay. But squatting on the regular, no, it's not good. Okay.
I wanted to say, Iris, before you continued on, two things. One is that I know for myself, my body will not allow me to hold it if I have to
Excellent.
poop. What happens is I get a really bad cramp, right? And I feel like I'm about to cry. So I know when it is time for me to go, I don't care where I am. I will put toilet paper around the toilet seat, whatever I got to do, because that cramp is the worst cramp to have I have ever felt in my life, where my body's like, no, I need to let this out right now. So you better get someplace, because if you don't, you're going to have a problem. So that's the
So
first thing.
here,
But what do you think about, I've heard this
right,
before.
Sierra, run.
I've heard this before, where some people have stools, they put their feet on the stool in the bathroom, like if you're at home. So they have like
So
some
that's
kind
the
of stool, they
squatty.
put their, oh, okay.
So I have a squatty potty, but if you're using stool or books or anything like that, basically what it's doing is it's putting you in the proper position that your bowel, your digestive system is in, which is what makes the elimination more easy, which is why it comes out so there. So your knees being up, your knees don't have to be up to your ears. Your knees and generally are to your chest. You could be straddled. They could be in front of you. I recommend straddle just because it's more comfortable. But even if they're in between you, they're pressing on the poop button, which is generally on the side because that's the natural flow of where the poop is on that side. So the squatting is a good thing, but you're not squatting so that you're doing an air squat. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, you're still on the toilet. Your legs are just up. So, Jean, I need you to stop holding it while you're out shopping, or I need you to schedule your shopping around your eliminations. That's your new task. If you know you go at a certain time every day, then you go. I know that I teach class on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I teach them at the time when I'm going to have either my second or third elimination. Because I know that, I have trained myself like, Iris, you need to go at 3 or you need to go at 7. But I get it. Okay? So, Jean, no more holding. No more holding. You put your eliminations, your shopping around your eliminations, okay? So, is that
So
it?
is that
Did we
all you
cover
got for
everything?
us, or you got some more?
Wait a minute, I don't know. Let me look at let me look at my cards. Let me look at my cards. I want to hit on frequency one more time. The number of times that you have eliminations is based on your diet. If you're not intaking enough fiber and water, then the likelihood that you are going to actually have regular eliminations continues to decrease. So increasing your fiber, increasing your water intake. Someone asked me about gas. Is gas a bad thing? Not all gas is a bad thing. However, if it is continually foul, if it is all the time, so say for instance, every time you eat, you have gas, you might want to consider shifting your diet and look at your food combining because something in your stomach is not working. But also, what too much gas could indicate is that you're not getting the appropriate, your body's not absorbing the nutrients from the food. So if you're gaseous all the time, regularly, you might want to speak to your doctor about it and get some tips for how to do that. In terms of odor again, remember odor so your gas is bad. So you might need to keep a food journal first. Okay. Keep a food journal first. Pay attention to the foods that you think are making you gassy. Generally, that's the citrus foods like cabbage, broccoli, um, cauliflower. Those type of things tend to do that more frequently. Okay. Oh my goodness. I need you to stop, Miss Lewis. Stop telling on your husband because he gonna be mad at you.
Sierra.
She is so, but I understand. But it should not be foul. Um, if your gas is bad, again, begin keeping a food journal. Your journal should include the time of day, what you're eating, the portions that you're eating, um, how you feel after you eat it, uh, and then any side effects. So if it's gas, then you know it's that food. So basically, you're doing a mini uh, elimination diet to kind of figure that out. But if your gas is bad, then you definitely have to begin to track your food and see what's going on. The other thing that you want to look at is you want to share these things with your doctor because anything with the digestive system, you want to be clear about. The pancreas could be involved. It could be an issue with the colons. Maybe you have palates that need to be moved. Um, so those are things you want to consider. If you're a woman that just had children, that can disrupt your bowel movements. But what you want to do is you want to increase your water and you want to make sure you schedule your eliminations. Practice makes improved. Your dog will leave the room, Jean. Jean, I need you to change your diet because more than likely you have some food intolerances or some allergies, but it sounds like intolerances. So if you like ice cream, milk, or anything like that, dairy for you is a problem, even if it's hard cheese. Grains might be creating an issue. Nuts and dairy are the worst for me these days. Then if you know they're the worst with you, you need to stop using them. Listen to your body. I'm not trying to
There's
be,
one more
it's
question.
really, yes. What does it say?
Um, well, it says, what does it mean when your gas smells like the seasonings used in cooking?
It just means it smells like the foods, the seasoning used in cookings. That's okay. Some seasonings are more potent than others. And then the frequency that you're eating those foods, everything you put in comes out. So we often focus on the underarms and poop, but every pore in your body is exuding the same odor. So if, say, for instance, you're a curry girl, then 9 times out of 10, your poop is going to smell like curry. The one that everybody infamous is for smelling after they eat it is asparagus. Okay, but that's the same thing with anything. If you're eating it on a regularly, then it's going to smell like that. If it smells like curry, that's okay. I love black beans, and I ate a can last month, and it ruined me for almost a whole week. So then maybe the product, one, canned beans are supposedly soaked. So what you may want to do is that you want to do, Shalise, you want to soak your beans first. Try that. Put a little baking soda in when you're soaking them. Rinse that water off and then try cooking them fresh. Okay? Try that first. But if beans don't agree with you, then stay away from them. A bean to try that usually doesn't bother people's stomach are chickpeas. Okay, are chickpeas. Then you may want to try legumes over beans. And some people just can't eat them. That's just what it is. If I couldn't eat them, I would be devastated because beans and legumes I would be devastated. They're a great big part of my diet. I'm not vegan or vegetarian, but I tend to eat a primarily plant-based diet 80% of the time. So that's there. Any beans for me. Oh my God, beans are bad for me. Then leave the beans alone. Leave the beans alone. Leave the beans alone or explore other options for getting them together. So then no chickpeas for you too. So here's the thing, ladies. Listen to your body. Do your research because there's no hard and fast food rule for everybody. Now, hormones affect eliminations as well. Okay. If you're a woman of a certain age, so if you're perimenopausal or going through menopause, hormones affect that too. How do you keep your hormones balanced as much as you can while you're going through this? Eating at regular intervals. Leave the dog alone, Z. He doing what he's supposed to do. Eating at regular intervals, ladies, are going to help keeping your hormones balanced because therefore you're keeping your insulin balanced. You're keeping your insulin, and when I say balance, that means from spiking and going low. So if you're getting hungry, you shouldn't be getting hungry, but in between meals, you should feel a sense that you want to eat, but it should never be starvation. So eating every 2 to 3 hours, if that helps you, that would be the better thing to do. Okay. Legumes, legumes, Chazelle, not legumes. I'm sorry, I didn't pronounce that clearly. So, ladies, you want to keep your insulin balanced. You want to hydrate while you're going through that. You want to consider any medications that you're taking. Most times we take medications without reading the side effects. You'd be surprised at the number of medications that make you run the gamut of having diarrhea or being constipated. Okay? So look at your everything that you put in your mouth is what you need to examine that can affect your eliminations, okay? The same times, 3 to 4 times apart for 9 years. So, Aretha, you may have been doing that for 9 years, but it may be time to switch it up. Just because we've done stuff at a certain time doesn't mean it's still working. Just like our bodies change, um, so does our need for nutrition change. So, uh, although you're into that habit, you may want to reconsider. And 4 hours is too long in between meals anyway, because probably at your next meal you're hungry. But you might want to reconsider that 3 to 4 hours and maybe consider 3 solid meals, or maybe increasing, making those meals smaller on your digestive system. So you might be seeing your hold up because the 3 to 4 meals are not small enough for your system. But we are women of a certain age, so that's something to consider in that as well. Did I get everything, Z?
I think you may have gotten everything because I think you tried to make me stay away past my bedtime.
Girl, I'm done then. Look, girl, it's 6:32. You said 20 minutes.
Okay.
But again, this is
So,
general.
why don't
Remember,
you
this is
tell
general
people how they can find
information.
you? Huh?
I was making sure people know this is general information. The things to consider after, if you watch this again, or the things that I have, is your health status, um, your dietary lifestyle. When I say dietary lifestyle, I'm more thinking about how much whole, fresh food you're getting into your system. The amount of sugar that's in your diet can impact that as well as the amount of fat in your diet. So if you're a person that likes cheese, animal products, let's just put it out there. You want to make sure they're quality. You want lean cuts. If you're a person that likes fat, get quality fat, ladies and gentlemen. Fried food is not the quality fat that you want. It's okay to have that sometimes. Quality fats have your omega 3s and your other oleic acids that you're going to need. And I pronounced that totally wrong. Charge it to my head because that's where it didn't come from. But uh, coconut oil, olive oil, walnut oil, your fishes, so salmon, trout. Do your research and pick a quality fat. If you must eat cheese, use hard cheeses, use quality cheese. The harder the cheese, generally the more flavor. So Parmesan, Manchego. Um, if you got to use cheese, use the quality ones, okay? Yes, coconut oil is saturated fat, but it's been shown to improve HDL and lower LDL. So you want to incorporate it in your diet in such a way, however, that you don't just start going ham. You know how we learn something and then all of a sudden we squash that. You want to introduce stuff in your diet, and then you want to journal how those things make you feel. Generally, within 7 to 21 days, you can tell what's having a good impact on you, what's having a negative impact, and then you adjust. So your relationship with food is ongoing. As you age, as your physical activity changes for your life, so should your diet. Okay. I'm glad you found it useful, Janice. Thank you for chiming in, Sierra. I appreciate it. So, Z, off to you.
All right, so why don't you tell people how they can find you if they have any more questions or they just want to follow you on social media? Let them know
Okay,
how.
so you can follow me on Instagram at Berry Well Living, and it's BerrywellLiving. On Facebook, it is Very Well Living again. Easy enough. And if you want to get a hold of me, it's best to email me at BerrywellLiving at gmail.com. I tend to respond within 24 to 48 hours um, to your questions. And then also email me. If you inbox me, be patient. I intentionally do not use Facebook Messenger. It's intrusive to me and it's just too much access. However, if you inbox me, I will get back to you. And generally, that takes me 48 to 72 hours if you inbox me, okay? So that's all I got. And let me say thank you for having me, Zivy. I enjoyed myself. I have a passion for nutrition. So this is right up my alley, is if we can improve our digestive process, then hey, let's do this. Hi, Aunt
Well,
Tahira.
thank
My
you so
auntie
much
just
for
came
coming
on.
on. It was great information. I learned a lot. I'm so happy that you decided to do it. I'm so happy that we met over this summer officially. So you guys, make sure you guys check her out on social media. You can check me out. You're already on my Facebook page. So you can also check me out on Instagram at LBX Fitness. And also, I am also on YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. This will also be on YouTube. The YouTube channel is also LBX Fitness. All right, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And make sure you are eating a clean diet so you can have a great elimination. Bye,
All righty
everyone.
then. Good night.